afternoon, good evening to anybody that happens to be chiming in, tuning in, or listening in to the Splinterlands Town Hall. The person that you're seeing on screen, if you're seeing somebody on screen, is Agrode. I'm one of the founders of Splinterlands. It's like 3.5 years now that we've been doing this, and it's pretty freaking awesome. Unfortunately, Matt can't join us. This is Christmas Eve, and so like everybody should have different expectations today. Nobody's here because they're required to. I put out a call of who wants to be here. I wanted to go communicate with the community and just keep doing our AMAs. And everybody here is as a volunteer. So just when you're hearing from folks that care deeply and passionately about this game, I hope you understand that it's coming from a perspective of deep love and care for this community. I can't see who's on screen. Who's here with me? Is it it's Richard, Liam, and Nate, or just all right? So we're all here. Richard, why don't you go give like a quick introduction, followed by Nate, and followed by Liam. Oh no, you're muted again. You gotta.
I muted myself. Was trying to be quiet. Anyway, hey, this is Hardpoint or Richard, whichever one you want to use. Here as CTO, just recently got that. Me and Matt have been playing jockey sticks on roles and have been supporting it for the last couple of months. And I'm taking over a lot of the organization and technical pieces. And Matt's running hard and fast with economics, game design, and blockchain stuff. So been kicking butt here the last couple of weeks. Excited to be here with you guys on a Christmas Eve, celebrating one of the things that I'm really enjoying right now in life is Splinterlands. So just happy to be here, guys. Looking forward to talking more about it.
Nate, do you want to go give us a quick intro?
Yeah, sure. This is Nate, creative director, oversee all the creative. So that's could be narrative, UX, UI, art, animation, so forth and so on. Merry Christmas to everybody. We're excited to share the holidays with you, and looking forward to a pretty ambitious 2022.
Yeah, freaking ridiculous. All right, and Chatter.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. I'm Chatter. I'm the kind of head of growth here at Splinterlands, just really helping kind of oversee everything growth and marketing related.
He's so succinct. Tell us something about yourself, Chatter.
Yeah, I'm the beardless Canadian on the team. Really just holding down the fort over here for us. It's currently -3 degrees, so I'm wrapped up in a blanket, but it's all good. Excited to be here and always excited for the town halls.
Do you have to go do commerce with beaver skins and beaver pelts in order to go barter for food and bullets?
Only from November to March, but yes.
Okay, excellent. That makes total sense to me.
Chatter, I won't tell you that the high today is 72 for me, where I'm at.
Oh, man. I'm jealous. In Vancouver,
I'm gonna go for a run outside in shorts.
Oh man, I'm super jealous. It doesn't normally get too cold around here. We'll get to kind of like 0 or so, but it's supposed to be -16 on Sunday. So I'm preparing my parkas and everything right now and getting the igloo prepped.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm hearing a little bit of feedback again. Don't know where that's coming from. I'm assuming it's Ron. I will blame him indefinitely. All right, so general updates. Man, some of it's a funky position to be where I'm at because I get this like super high altitude view of what I think next year is going to be like, and I'm freaking thrilled and excited, and I'm also kind of handcuffed with it because I can't share everything that I know is coming, and it's going to be a freaking glorious year. I'm so 2022 is going to be by far, and I don't mean just like a little. 2022 is going to be by far the best year in Splinterlands history. It's going to be astounding. I mean, unless like the next COOF version comes out and it actually decimates the planet, that could be bad for us. If there's some sort of like nuclear winter, that could be bad for us. But like, barring an alien invasion and an EMP blast that takes out the entire internet, like 2022 should be the most like thrilling freaking year for this company. We have a grand vision, and I'm working on more of it. But like some of the partnerships that I have brewing, and one that's signed but that I can't announce, are just freaking awesome. So thrilled to go push forward into the new year, and I don't know. I wish I had more freedom to share the kind of different projects that we are working on and what we're going to roll out, um, and what we're finally able to roll out in addition to working on Splinterlands. I mean, Splinterlands, like the pure dev team on all the stuff that we're working on, is probably 4 or 5 times bigger than it's ever been. So I'm thankful, grateful, freaking killing it. This year was the best year in company history, and it was the best year in company history by miles. And next year we are going to smash. We might because of the general sale, we might do more revenue in January than we have in all company history. And that's an astounding feat to do that, because we've been here hardcore for like 3.5 years, and that just gives us so much freaking ammunition, right? Like if I have dry powder in the bank, ready to go, ready in January, and we have our marching orders of grow, get more people into here, work on listings, get Splinterland's name plastered everywhere, advertise wherever we can. Just like, man, we're in such a strong position. More liquidity than we've ever had before, more partners, and I'm just excited. So I know some of this is still vague. I'm sorry, I'm still being vague. But when the announcements start rolling out in 2022 of who our new partners are, I think you guys will be absolutely thrilled. Richard, do you want to go kind of give any update, and maybe even I guess next year we should make the theme year in review. But if you want to give any kind of tentative thoughts of like what you've lived through, or we're not going to devote this show to year in review, but if you just want to like highlight some of that, why don't you tell us a little bit from like the tech or what we're planning in terms of like level of ambition, level of like how you're feeling about the vision and the direction that we're going, and I don't know, hopes and dreams for what 2022 will look like.
Yeah, okay. Let's hit it. Let's see. Thinking back the last couple of months from where we've came, if you said year in review, to me it was amazing, amazingly hard. Lots of hard work, lots of fires, but all of a sudden we really connected with some magical things in the crypto world, and we really went from 10,000 active daily players to over 500,000 active daily players. We're doing over 8 to 10 million battles a day on the game platform. And so that kind of growth, from July to October, we were in firefight mode trying to make the game, work at that scale, because we had built it one way and it worked great for that way. And then when we started putting all that horsepower in there, and everybody came in and started getting excited about it, we had to go in and change out some of our systems and upscale everything. So that's been the work that's taken up a lot of the time frame. But what's really exciting is with all that growth, we were able to bring in a lot of team members. And, we go from July, where we had probably, I want to say 15 to 25 people working in some capacity, to ending the year somewhere close to a little above 70 team members working on the staff. So that growth of basically 2 to 3x what we had has created a lot of opportunity towards the last part of the year, where we were able to actually scale the game out, but also continue to deliver new features. And I think that was one of the biggest breakthroughs we had as a company, is we were able to deliver Chaos Legion. And that launch of Chaos Legion just recently was super exciting for the team, because that was pulled off while we were still fighting fires and building out better infrastructure, building out better stability for the game. So just starting to see that parallel path that's starting to happen with all the new capacity of developers. And just to put that in context, the company is 70, but when you think about the number of creative people on board, the number of developers on board, we went from having less than 3 to 4 developers working, some of them only full time and half of them part time, to having right now upwards of 15 active developers working. I mean, that's right there. That's 5x the actual development capacity is in house. Now, the one thing you got to realize with that is that capacity takes a lot of time to ramp up. So when you hire people and you bring them on board, it can take up to 3 full months to getting them up and productive and integrated into the team. So that capacity is still coming online right now and still ramping up every month that goes by.
I like to remind people that like the code base for Splinterlands, if you print it out, it's like the size of War and Peace. Like this is not like a tiny little code and you're like, oh look, isn't that cute and quaint? Like this is a giant freaking code base to do everything that we do. You know, when I was talking to some free to play game guys, I was asking them how many servers does your game run on? And they said one. And we're like, that's adorable. Ours run on 30. So like you know, this is when Richard's talking about scaling up, he doesn't just mean one server in like a tiny little code base or like getting developers up to speed. It's not like, oh, here, read Dick and Jane, and then you're ready to go into class. It's like, here's this giant tome of code, make it better. It's like it's daunting.
And if you think about even, you know, a lot of people we talk to, Aggie, you know, some of the people we've been talking to lately, and we said, you know, what's really cool about your platform? You know, we had a meeting recently and we were like, yeah, well, we integrate into how many different blockchains? Like we're 6 different blockchains, and they're like, wow, like you guys actually do. I mean, yeah, we actively integrate into multiple blockchains from Hive using bridges. And I mean, that's fairly amazing for a blockchain project to maintain that, because we have to keep up with not only all the back and forth, but we're dealing with all the support tickets related to things failing or not getting sent right. You know, even if you just look at our support numbers, which, you know, I always love to say the support team is the unsung and sung heroes. So I try to always sing their praises on how hard those guys work for the team and for the community. But we went from July, from having like 100 tickets, I think it was in July or June, we had 100 tickets total in our system, to having in September, August, having 10,000 tickets in our system. Like literally, that's the kind of, if that little bit shows you the explosive growth we were dealing with. But here's what's exciting about that. We peaked out in September, and then every month since then, we've actually cut that number down by 30 to 50%. So in October, we dropped it down to 7,000 tickets. In November, we dropped it down to 5,000 tickets. And November, it's like November, and then December, we're on track for only 3,000 tickets total. So like if it just kind of, just if you look at the support tickets as a flow of how the system is improving, how it's scaling, how it's responding, and how fast we're able to actually deal with those things, it's just showing you that that capacity is kicking in, that we're getting all the people on board and organized and starting to flow out the things. And I know there's still people out there with tickets that haven't been resolved, because we have a team of around 30 support people that are rapidly trying to move this. But you guys got to realize, when we go in to resolve tickets for people, it's not like we just go in and click a button. These guys are actually having to go out to the chain and do research for every single transaction to make sure that it's correct. So it's a lot of work.
Forensic accounting.
It basically is. It's forensic accounting on the blockchain to make sure that the game lines up with the chain, and then when players are submitting requests, that they're actually valid, because, you know, scammers are a thing, and we have to protect the community and ourselves from them. So there's a lot of work that goes into resolving tickets. So I just want to say that, just remember that. And guys, always, like I like to say, give a big high five to a support person when you see them. Just be thankful for all their hard work and their tireless effort for the company. So if you kind of take all that forward, you got a growing capacity with developers. We have a larger capacity with support. We brought a bunch of support people on full time. We've been, actually, one of the exciting things in December, we launched a new support.splinterlands.com site with Zendesk, and we actually now have starting to publish out knowledge-based articles to help users with common issues. So that's really exciting, and we're looking forward in the next month or two to continue to expand that capability to support the game in-game. I mean, that's one of the things we want to do. We want to be where the players are. We want to be where the community is. And the community, as much as I like to say they're in Discord, they're not. Most of our community is on the platform itself. And so we're moving fast as a company in 22. One of the biggest things that I want to see in 22 for us technology-wise is get the communication in-game to be at that level, so we connect with every single player in-game. And so one of those things that you're going to see...
I'm going to up it beyond that. I want all the players connecting with each other, like through the game. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
the long tail engagement of players in our game. You know, one of the things that I've figured out is that like there's lots of games that you can play. Splinterlands is just one of them, and there's lots of ways to go make money in the world. And so you might want to go do DeFi somewhere else, and those are fine. But there's only one Matt Clark, and he's here. So if you want something that is the stickiest piece of adoption ever, it's our community. It's having friends. It's like you're playing this game and you're making money and you're doing it with people that you like love, you like tell your stories to, you pour your heart out to. Like, man, we all have this has been a horrific 2 years. Like whether it's COVID, job loss, you know, shitty conditions, people getting sick, like these are hard, totally abnormal and kind of disgusting times that we're living through. That's part of why we have a plague doctor as like the #1 character that we launched for this edition. But you know, if we can help people connect and feel like they're part of a community and feel like they have a home here and feel like they have friends, you'll never leave. And that's what we want. We want you guys to be here, not you know, it's voluntary. We want you to choose to be here. But you know, to me, like we're building an amusement park, but it's kind of like you live here, right? We want you to feel like this is your home, and we want you to feel like you got friends and family here. And the more that we can help you connect to other humans that feel the same way you do and are passionate about the same things, I think that's how we have nice things.
Yeah, and when you say nice things, I think you said, "What am I excited about for 22?" One of the things that most, beyond just connecting the community with each other, because absolutely agree with you, Aggie, on that. We have to get better at that, and we have to do better with our communication in game. Like anytime we're releasing new changes to the game, we want that to be in game, easy to find, and right in your face. So that will be one thing that we really want to do. The other thing me and you've been talking about over the last like couple weeks as we've been developing up our vision for 22 is how do we achieve mainstream? How do we achieve a term that I'm actually going to be probably writing on, and I'll put a post out sometime in the Q1, is what I'm calling frictionless crypto. So, you know, we were talking about that the other night, and I said my vision for the game, and one of the things that really attracted me to Splinterlands was how easy it was for me to get on a website that's a game, and then all of a sudden I had crypto. All of a sudden I had NFTs. I didn't even have to know what an NFT was, but I had them. And you know, you think about that thought process of, wow, like I didn't have to create some weird things to get into crypto. I didn't have to go read a manual on how crypto and blockchain work. I just went to the website and started buying and selling cards, and all of a sudden I'm trading crypto. And so I think more of what I want to see and what both of us were really pushing for is taking the game mainstream is really about what can we do with the team and the assets that we have to really push forward towards a vision of frictionless crypto on the site where it's seamless to get fiat into the game and use it. And I think the more we do that and we make it easier, and that's like on multiple levels, that's both how the UI is designed. That's how we communicate through the UI. That's how we communicate what transaction you've done. I know there's a lot of requests out there, people wanting to get downloads of their transactions. We want to do that. We want to make that easy for you to get access to that. But it also is key management. And that's one area that is a real hot spot for me is I really want to see key management go to a whole new level. And so I don't want to kind of give away everything, but I want to say that is what I think is the next thing that hits the next wave is the moment that you make this just so easy for someone to show up at your website, to get involved, put money in the game, to start buying, to start renting, and make that simple and also make that secure. You've achieved like the runway is just like a downhill slope, just pouring more and more oil on a slip and slide. You just want it just to be super smooth to get in, super smooth to use it, and you feel like what you've done is valuable. And I think right now, if you look at the game and you go, well, where does it tell me how valuable my assets are? We don't have that right now. It's not easy to see, but that should be. It should be right there in your face. And we even talked about in the future having maybe a page, and we haven't conceptually figured it all out yet, but a page where you can see all the rewards, all the ways you can earn in the game, all the way that what you own is growing in value. And so long term, like 22, we want to take those concepts and see if we can't start making inroads in developing that for the community, for the player base. Because the moment we start saying to player, hey player, you just signed up, 30 days, you've got cards, you just won these season rewards. Oh, by the way, that card you won right now is trading on the market for $400. Like all of a sudden that just gets super exciting. Right now you don't know. You open your season rewards and you go, oh cool, I got a legendary gold foil. I don't know what that means. But what if we started showing the player that what they got has value? And I think that's going to be part of the next year is really you get into this term of frictionless crypto, you get into this term of communication, like a lot more communication to the player through the platform, a lot more communication between the players, each other. And like I joined a guild and started getting phrase going, and I'm like, man, I missed several of my battles because I didn't have anything that let me know that I should be doing it that's outside the platform. We need to change that. We need to make it so that if you're in a guild and you got a fray going on, that you're getting notified, hey, you haven't submitted your team. Hey, you're behind in this. That is stuff that we need to get better about in 22. And that's where I'm excited, because just gluing this stuff together is just going to allow the average player that comes into the system to not have to spend 3 months figuring out how to play the game. It should be really, the game should just draw you in, and then the crypto and the economic simulation should draw you in and be really present and easy to see, easy to understand, and easy to participate in. That is actually the biggest thing I really want for Splinterlands in 22, is us to make some serious inroads into those areas.
So you call it frictionless crypto. That fits when I've been trying to like boil down what is the thing that I'm really trying to get at here, and I have the full term of what I've been thinking about a lot is spawn point equality or spawn equality. And I think about our game or I think about the planet as like a game map, like a video digital game map. And you like when you're born, you spawn in. And I want what bothers me so much about this world is that it's not very egalitarian. In that, like, if you spawn in some parts of the world, you're gonna live in misery. You're gonna live in poverty. You're gonna be like potentially sexually assaulted, abused, trafficked, or whatever. And if you happen to be born in other parts of the world, you have like a smorgasbord of amazement and like wonder that is before you. And I don't feel like bringing that smorgasbord down, but I feel like we should do everything we can to raise up the amount of opportunity that exists in this world for all people, regardless of their color, their creed, their religion, their beliefs, their mindset, their whatever. I want what I consider spawn point equality. No matter where you were born, you have an opportunity to do well and succeed. And I think our economy provides that. And maybe that's hubris and maybe I'm Icarus, but I think this game can, we help people at the bottom end of the spectrum. I get pictures of beds and people say, I'm not sleeping on the floor. Thanks, dude. And I get emails from people that are like, hey, I'm a Splinterlands millionaire. This game has changed my life. Thanks so much. Please write tax software. And we're helping people across that entire economic spectrum. And I don't think it's just Splinterlands. I think we do a particularly good job, but I think it's crypto and it's DeFi and it's NFTs and it's asset ownership. And it's my dream that we have this kind of like spawn point equality, where even if you happen to be born in this country with a terrible ruler who is intent on impoverishing everyone and being cruel and malicious, that if you can find this escape route, if you can get into play to earn, if you can participate in this economy, you have the opportunity to get out. Doesn't mean you will, doesn't mean that everything goes perfectly. You could still be an idiot here and ruin everything. That happens anywhere. But I just want to make sure that everybody in the world has some kind of opportunity. And that's part of my vision. And I think your point of the frictionless crypto is like a keystone of making that happen. Because you can't, if there's too much of a barrier to entry, if you need to be like a a PhD in software engineering to be able to go experience and benefit from this, then we have failed. And so what we need to do is make sure that this game is accessible to everybody. And it's honestly, when Matt and I hired Nate, it was literally one of the first things that we recognized was part of Nate's great talent was like, here's all this really complicated blockchain stuff, but somehow it seems a little hidden in this game. And it's like, oh, Nate just makes it easy for us to get this. And it's that part of like ease of use, that frictionless crypto that I think helps us get into that dream, or like that's so powerful to me because I just want this dream of spawn point equality. And I feel like we're getting there. So I want to hear from Nate. Nate, can you share with us a little bit about like maybe not year in review, but a little bit, a touch of year in review, a touch of what's coming in the next year. I think our next episode will be like full on year in review, but I don't know, just kind of touch on these topics and think about it a little bit so that we're refined for next week. And what are you proud of, and what are you excited for?
Yeah, I think that the most obvious is the elevating the production quality of the set, which is Chaos Legion. So each set we try to improve upon what we did before, and I think that we we're able to achieve that with Chaos Legion. Anything from the artwork to the frames to the pack opening experience to everything in between. Even the lore, if you go look at the lore tab, the narrative team just knocked it out of the park in terms of we added a couple different sections. Now, instead of just a block of text that kind of gives you an overview of the character, you have a kind of a background, and then you have a story snippet that kind of gives you a glimpse into this character's life or what he's doing and whatnot. So there's all kinds of cool things that we have done and that we continue to do, such as the new audio stories. So we have professional voice acting. We got cool illustrations to support the stories. We have so many different ways now to kind of pull you in to what we're doing. And for me, it's all in preparation for the land expansion. I know a lot of you guys are frustrated at win land, and you want to see sneak peeks, and you want to look at what we're working on with land, and we'll get there. We're I would say that once the general sale for Chaos Legion is in our rear view mirror, then you're going to see more and more and more focus on bringing that kind of gameplay to you. Because as for any of you who have heard me in the past on the town halls, I personally don't want land to just be for the few landowners who were able to grab up these plots, or they're buying these plots even now on the third party marketplaces. I want land to be for everybody, and you don't have to be a landowner to appreciate what we're going to do with land. I think it's the first step towards player versus environment and story mode and campaign mode and all the cool stuff that we could do in between. I'd love for there to be unique opportunities for non-land owners to kind of integrate themselves into the economy. Maybe, we talked about in the past travel time. Who's to say that non-land owners couldn't, be a part of that? Drive the economy in a different way. Maybe, they got a horse and buggy, and they throw some wood and ore in the back and say, I'll get it over to that place for you. And participate in all kinds of other ways. I just feel that as we get closer to what we can do with land, what we've talked about thus far, to me, is only tip of the iceberg. I think it's going to be amazing, and that's a big part of 2022. I think
I see that so much with like PvP. So it's like, okay, so you have your land. Nobody's going to go take your land. You own it. That's yours. Relax. We're not burning down your castle. It's going to be okay. But this land, everybody dies. We're all going to fight. We're all going to kill each other. And there's going to be huge financial consequences for the winners and the losers. And it's going to be amazing. But not everywhere, just in these kind of PvP zones. And that to me has this a total alignment with the vision of like, well, how do we build the castle here? Who's going to build the forts? How do we get the dragon tamed and killing people over here? Well, yeah, we're going to have to go involve the entire community in the giant wars that we are going to wage against each other in the not in the general land, but in the PvP sections. It's going to be epic and it's going to be awesome. So
No, for sure. And we haven't even talked about boss fights and raids and things of that nature. I think land is going to open up an entire accessible ecosystem of new types of gameplay that is just going to blow people out of the water. I think it's going to be super exciting. So, you're not going to see all this craziness next year. We just got to get the foundation built. But afterwards, I think, oh man, it really just opens things up big time. And what you touched upon lightly is so true. I think that as we create these new forms of gameplay and as people get accustomed to starting the game in some sort of map view and just being sucked into the game world, I think more and more that they're going to feel like, hey, I'm a battle mage and I'm actually influencing the story. I'm influencing what's happening in the world. And I think that's going to be so cool. And just to touch upon what was discussed previously, it's not as sexy, it's not as eye popping, but what you guys were discussing previously just a little bit ago is so important, and that is the general UX of the game. And I think that's another thing that I'm super excited about is the fact that for the past 3 years, I mean, you're right, you guys would have this idea and I would, you'd whiteboard out this idea, and sometimes it'd be like, no, I think it needs to work a little differently, or let's do it that way instead. Or as I create the UI, I'm trying to think through the UX and how this is going to work, and how can we simplify, how can we streamline, how can we condense to make this less complex. And up until now, I just kind of like was trying to work with both sides of my brain at the same time, trying to use the UX at the same time as the UI and crank it out so that we meet our deadlines. And we're on a whole nother level now. As I'm building out the creative side, I just hired a UX guy, Roy. He has a lot of potential. He's already sinking his teeth into the feedback page where everyone's commenting on their opinions and suggestions and whatnot. He's collaborating with the UI guys so that the UI makes sense in terms of overall UX. And I think as the team gets built out and we have UX guys and we have them separate from the UI guys and we have them separate from everyone else who's doing, focusing on making their part of the game as good as it can be, that and then everyone starts collaborating and figuring stuff out, the game is just going to, you won't even recognize it anymore. I mean, Hardpoint has great UX ideas, and I can't wait to run with them. And we've already started to analyze the game as it is now, step by step, starting with the onboarding experience for new users. And he's already identifying strengths and weaknesses and what we could do better and what's the low-hanging fruits and what makes the most sense. And it's exciting to see. So again, I think you guys are right. 2022 is going to see a lot of UX improvements. So that, and again, these are things that when you interact with the game, these aren't things that jump out at you. These are things that are very subtle, things that you don't notice. It's basically like what Hardpoint says, frictionless. So it's basically the elimination of any pain points, any hurdles, any speed bumps, anything that comes between the player and what it is they're trying to do in such a way to where they don't even realize what's happening. It's just that user friendly. They're just doing what they want to do in an exciting and engaging way. So all of that is going to be improved times 10, times 100 starting next year. So yeah, very cool.
Awesome. Is Chatter? I know Chatter's in the. I think we lost his feed, but is Chatter still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Do you want to quietly, or not quietly, but like facelessly tell us what you're thinking about for what you've experienced, kind of starting here? I mean, you like when Richard came in, there was like a handful of devs, and just he got to kind of like merge into this existing thing. When Nate was here, he was so early that he was our first employee, so like there was nothing, but there also wasn't that big of an organization that was here, or that many customers or people, so he had to build that with us, but he wasn't like thrust into something the same way that you were, in that like, here's this business, here's we had just lost some of our key team members, here's kind of this like empty shell, not completely, but here's marketing, here is growth, go run at it and do stuff, make it better, chatter. So maybe you can share a bit of your experience, kind of like coming in, and then sort of like where we were and where we are and where you think we're going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a really cool experience. I know kind of the one thing at the forefront of everything is that we have a extremely talented team, not just on the marketing side, but the entire team, and that makes kind of everyone's job a lot easier, especially mine here. When I came on, I mean, people like Clay, Zaria, Sarah, Darren, I mean, all you guys have been doing an absolutely amazing job. So that's been awesome to actually kind of be able to work with top talent there. But when I first came into the marketing team, we had our social set up. There was a lot of kind of inconsistencies, and there's a lot of things we've been battling. A lot of that kind of comes back to things like our ad account, where we had like a Twitter account was ineligible for ads. So we're constantly kind of jumping through hoops and trying to get all the legal battles done so that we can actually advertise crypto on all the kind of like big box platforms. Those are all getting really close to finishing right now. All of our like analytics, all of our reporting, that wasn't like completely set up. So we're at a place right now where all the foundation is pretty much set. We started doing all of our forecasting for next year. Really bullish on kind of what's going to be coming ahead. We've seen some great strides, even like this week alone. I kicked off a kind of Twitter campaign with, I think it's about 750,000 followers worth of Twitter accounts starting to promote the game right now. That kicked off kind of yesterday or late the night before. If you guys haven't seen the official update post that we made as well, like we're literally the first company to be drafted into kind of CMC's alpha campaign. And what that is essentially we have a live chat now on our token page, as well as the ability to essentially put in long form articles similar to what you would see on kind of any big major like news or kind of finance kind of blog site. So Yahoo Finance, yada, yada, yada. It's really cool there. And those are going to be things that will help us actually rank and be discovered more organically on CoinMarketCap and then some other kind of exploration tools there. So the fact that
hold on a second. Just explain this thing one more time. Somebody just listened to that and they're like, CoinMarketCap, what? What are you talking about? This is a giant freaking deal. CoinMarketCap is like one of, if not the biggest crypto site in the world, and they now have a page that's dedicated to us. Can you talk, like, just walk me through that again? I'm not sure I fully understood it the first time you said it. Now I'm getting some perspective of the scale. Tell me about this thing again.
For sure.
Yeah,
so,
and I'm blown away by the fact that how the heck Splinterlands is the first. How did that happen? That's amazing. I mean, great job.
Yeah, it was kind of right place, right time. We were talking to them about ads, and we had a nice conversation just about Splinterlands as a whole, our growth, the platform, the amazing team, and kind of ambitions that we have behind the project. And they were pretty blown away by it. And so they pretty much said, hey, let's actually hold up on advertising for a second and let's actually get you introduced into this alpha instead. And so we talked through it and we were kind of sussing it out over the past month or so as they were kind of finishing off the final touches of that alpha. And I mean, kind of everything fell into place, and again, right time and right place there. But yeah, it's really cool. I left the link in both our Twitch and our kind of Discord chats there if you want to check it out. But we're currently the only page or the only token on CoinMarketCap's entire website right now with that live chat and the kind of article feature. So yeah, it's cool. It'll be kind of helping us get more discovery features and a bit more organic eyes on us as well, just as this alpha kind of kicks out. So yeah, really excited to see kind of how things progress.
Are you able to see any kind of information on what that's doing already? Is it used? Are people looking at it? Is it worthless? Or should I be excited? Is it going to be the game-changing thing for us? Or what do you, how does this fit into your scope and roadmap?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of helped impact the token. I mean, we've gone up to or 2.5% in price, like token price for SPS since that's been launched. I don't know kind of how much that's correlated, but the nice thing and how it really does help reflect on the token and token price is as people stumble onto the page, they can then go to that live chat and kind of look through the chat to see how people are feeling or what the thoughts are and sentiments are behind the token. And right now we have kind of like about 100 comments or so in that live chat. I would say probably 99% of them are all positive and have that kind of bullish tag on them. So it's really cool. It also gives us another medium to communicate with kind of new customers coming in, because I can actually go in and post in that live chat and post these links and talk to people and answer questions about the token. So people who haven't necessarily onboarded into our platforms or our socials or anything like that yet, when they're still kind of doing their research on the game, there's another kind of first talking point there where we can communicate with them, which I think is really important.
So out of all these things, I mean, there's a lot of different things that are happening in this ecosystem. Like what gets you the most excited? Like if you had to like point to something and say, the majority of growth next year seems like it will come from X. Like where will we get new players? How are we gonna grow? Like what do you think? What do you think the mix is? And like, what if you had to pick your top three? These are the things that are going to change the outcome for Splinterlands to the better, to the faster, to the more impressive. What do you think those three things are?
Yeah, from a marketing standpoint, I think ads are going to be quite pivotal in kind of bringing on new traffic. It's hard to say that, hey, like these three channels are going to be like the only three channels are important, because realistically, we need to figure out how to build a completely full funnel. So as people are coming in from ads, how do we kind of retarget them or redirect them, whether that's kind of hitting them with email if they sign up, whether it's hitting them with kind of more retargeting ads or whatever else it may be, just helping them kind of get through that journey to really signing up and experiencing Splinterlands, but making sure we're providing them with all the kind of correct materials to be able to do so, and really giving them the power to do so. So I think in short, there is no kind of one channel that's going to be the sole driver, but I think in terms of kind of which ones hold a lot more importance, I think ads are going to be huge for kind of bringing us to more of the main stage and bringing us mainstream, because right now we're really marketing to the crypto people and the blockchain gamers, but we haven't been able to branch into the mainstream channel quite yet. So I think that's a great medium to do so. I think that the esports tournaments, and obviously I'm a little bit biased because I've kind of played professional games my entire life as well. I think the esports thing is going to be huge for us as well. We're actually looking to hire an esports manager. Had an interview yesterday that went super well as well. So really bullish on
Tell
that.
me about that. Why is it that how does that help us? I mean, to me, I'm running a business and we're doing esports, and now I have to put out these prizes. It's just going to cost me money. I'm just being a dumb, devil's advocate. So, tell me as like a skeptical player how esports is somehow going to change anything of my experience or what we're doing as a team or as a community. How does esports help us?
Yeah, and that goes back to the kind of full funnel conversation I was just talking about there. Kind of two different ways. One, it really helps kind of lower funnel conversions and lower funnel hype on the game, where users are first getting in and then they're watching these pros play and they're seeing these big tournament winnings. And they're saying, hey, you know what? I can actually be there. And like, how do I get there? And it helps getting the people stoked about the game, just from the internal perspective once they've already kind of onboarded. But I think even kind of further than that, and what could even be more important as well, is really attracting kind of more brand recognition from it. So as that becomes a kind of organic lever, as people are siphoning through Twitch and browsing channels and they kind of fumble across ours, like this is a potential avenue to get hundreds of thousands of new eyes onto us every single month. If we can start hitting those kind of top 10, top 20 kind of cards in the browse section for games on Twitch and other streaming platforms, there's going to be so much organic traffic and foot traffic that comes through to our game just naturally as people scout around. And then that leads into, again, more the funnel where we can start giving them ads. We can start kind of sending them more information about the game, so on and so forth, to really help them bring in and get super stoked on it. But as well as the cash burn perspective there, it doesn't just mean that, hey, we're tossing away money and throwing money at a wall there. We're also going to be kind of bringing in sponsors. Sponsors will be able to potentially like bring on teams or sponsor individual players. However, we kind of net out with the esports league there, that's still kind of TBD. But it's going to bring a lot more money into the game than we're actually putting out at the same time.
All right, so ads, esports, and then what's the third on your list? Where else do you think we'll find new friends?
Yeah, I think that goes back to kind of what we've seen organically and just really getting the community buy-in, making sure that we have a lot of kind of outside streamers, affiliates, content creators that are also helping promote the game there. I think first and foremost, the community has really been the driver for this game, and really tying back to your sentiment and Matt's sentiment on the game, where it's really just trying to promote kind of peace, prosperity, and freedom here. Like, the players are the value to the game. We aren't anything. We're not really a company without you guys. So the more we can get your buy-in, the more we can get you guys really excited about the game and talking about it, the better we do in the long run.
I've had a dream of like a Splinterlands chapter in every city, right? Like get people in, like fill guilds, and I mean like yield guilds and farm guilds and play to earn guilds. How do we foster that? It's sort of like was it Mary Kay? You would do your or like a Tupperware party. How do we get like Tupperware parties in every single city where I have a sales background, so it's my opinion that one person talks to another, and that's how we spread this. And how do we facilitate that conversation? How do we make sure that I can go into any city and have an opportunity to find this game? And I don't need you to answer that now, but I think we're hiring a head of sales, which it might be silly that we haven't had that for 3.5 years, but now we will. Like I'm hoping that between the head of sales, the head of marketing, and the head of community management, we have some way to go, kind of like communicate it. And I'm not talking about MLM. I'm talking about like I don't know, just more of like community gatherings. Like how do we do the education? It's like crypto Mondays. How do we do like a crypto Monday, like a Splinterlands Tuesday, right? Like how do we gather the tribe? How do we get people talking about it? How do we get like 1 million people kind of like out there communicating and sharing stories and like the hashtag that I would love to get trending is like play to earn journey. What's your journey? Like, how did you get into this, and what has the benefits been? Why are we here? Why are we doing this? And I don't mean us as Splinterlands, the company. I mean you as the player. Why do you participate in this ecosystem? Why are you here? What are you hoping for? What are you trying to do? What do you like about it? And I think the more that the players can communicate that to each other and to their friends and to their family, the idea that like Splinterlands will just do all the marketing, all the growth, and everything will happen because us, the like 100 of us do the work. That's the fallacy. The reality is, if we want this thing to explode, we need the hundreds of thousands of people that are part of this ecosystem, like getting out there, spreading the word, and helping it to explode. And like Splinterlands can be at the vanguard of that, but we are not it. That's the community that's it, with us being part of the community and us taking the lead. But we can't just be the only guys here. It has to be a collective party.
For sure. Yeah. And I think a lot of that comes down to really building that brand recognition and building that physical presence. So I think things like the esports league, hosting Splinterfest, and kind of as we start building more of a physical presence, that's going to become a lot easier to do. So what that looks like at the end of the day, to answer your question, is still kind of up in the air right now. But I think the more physical presence we start building, the easier it's going to really become to start building those hubs in different cities and starting to have LAN parties and LAN tournaments and all that stuff. And that being said, like if you guys want to host LAN parties and you want any potential like sponsorship from Splinterlands, or you need like any creative assets or anything, I know we've kind of done some in the Philippines, like please reach out to me. I would love to kind of help make that happen and help arrange that with you guys. So yeah, please feel free to reach out just via Discord. Our email, liam@splinterlands.com, if you ever want to do those LAN parties, and I'd be happy to help organize those.
Yeah, and we should get some business development people. Zafar just joked, partnership with McDonald's, but honestly, it's that. It's like, okay, it's this combination of we should be going person by person, but we should also be going business by business. We have one of the largest like ecosystems in all of crypto, and so if you want crypto exposure, you should be coming through us. But we can't just expect people to show up. If we want them to do something, we have to make it as easy for them as humanly possible to join us. And so we need. I think we need some. This is part of why I'm building a sales team. But we should be doing like sales outreach to say, hey guys, you're trying to build a presence in the metaverse. You're trying to go do this thing with crypto owners. You want gamers. Why don't you come advertise your product, do it through these tournaments, and like get eyeballs on what you're doing. And if it can go from like, $40 tournaments of D City to like $50,000 tournaments by like Zynga, then we'll have done our job, right? So that's part of what I hope for is like, as you mentioned the community, I think you're totally spot on. We gotta leverage our community, and it's this funky combination of us in the vanguard of the community, but the community doing this stuff too. And how do we incentivize that? How do we build plans around that? And how do we make it happen?
Completely agree. And I
we're-
mean, sorry to interrupt, but to that point too, we're actually looking to hire a partnerships and event manager as well. And I think that the only reason that, someone said McDonald's, but like, why not? Like, why don't we partner with McDonald's, and get that Yoden or Llama and the Happy Meal toy kind of thing? So once we get that new hire, like that's really what they're going to be doing. They're going to be looking for those opportunities. And right now it really just comes due to like a lack of bandwidth that we're not already. But yeah, that's absolutely on the cards.
Nice. All right. So we're going to go into the questions mode in about 5 minutes here. So I just want any wrap up thoughts from any of the fine gents here. Richard, any before we get into questions, anything that you kind of want us to be thinking about, either retrospective of 2021 or future perspective of 2022?
Patience. Like right now, Splinterlands is literally gearing up for the best year we will ever have, and probably consider the amount of growth we'll have. Probably our largest leap ever is in 22. So you guys are like, where is this? Where is that? Why is this coming? Where is that going? Yeah, just it's coming. I promise you. The team is here. We've got the money. We've got the team. We've got really smart, bright people that care passionately for it. Just have patience with us, guys. It's going to happen. If you go look at our changelog on our site, you'll just start seeing the volume of changes to the game is accelerating. And what you're going to see over the first quarter, second quarter, is just going to be nuts. And that's not going to be anything compared to third or fourth quarter this year. If there's anything I can tell you guys, it's going to be a phenomenal year. Just have patience with us. Keep believing in us. Keep being active in the community. Keep sharing all the love that this community has for Play to Earn. And guess what, guys? I want you to say the other thing is patience also includes just knowing that we're working here our butts off. We're not going to make the perfect decisions. We're going to make the best decisions we can, and we're going to try to keep rolling with it and growing this game and this community as fast as we can, and just really showing you guys the love. And, we're here playing the game. I've been opening packs while I've been in this meeting. I'm just having fun just because it's fantastic. Such a wonderful art experience, such a wonderful game. I've been staring at land. Land prices are at a discount. If you think they're supposed to be six figures by the end of the year, then you're like, wow, that's a discount for some land. Not investment advice, but man, that's how bullish I feel. I'm super excited, guys. I'm just glad to be along for the ride, and I'm super pumped to be a part of this fantastic team. And I can't wait to show you guys just how much we are going to kick ass in 22.
All right, Nate, two requests. One, there's a request to see your shirt. I believe it is a Splinterlands shirt. This is your wife. We are going to abide by her requests. And then secondly, your future thoughts or past thoughts.
All right. I mean, for some of you have purchased this shirt already or seen it, but yeah, I'm wearing my aggroed FOMO shirt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but I think that mentality holds true. Even though Hardpoint says be patient, be calm, but in reality, like especially with those two legendary airdrop sneak peeks we just released. For those of you who have not checked that out, either from our social media channels or on our blog, go check that out. If someone has a link, maybe drop it in Discord. But those are some darn cool characters. So we're in phase 2 of the Chaos Legion sale, and you need vouchers to buy the packs, and people have been questioning, okay, do I sell my vouchers? Do I keep my vouchers? What do I do with the vouchers? I say go use them right now. These characters look pretty darn awesome. They're gonna give you whole new strategies, and a lot of thought was gone into trying to make them hold a lot of value. Speaking of which, I know Hardpoint internally has been championing this a lot, and I totally wholeheartedly agree. There's a lot of internal discussion as to how can we give not just staked SPS more value, but how do we give vouchers more value? And so just understand, guys, as we're dropping vouchers every day, and some of you might be thinking, well, what do I do with these? You're going to want them. It's a discussion that's happening almost daily. How can we use vouchers? How do we add more value to vouchers? What can we offer that's going to require vouchers above and beyond what we're already doing? So I think that's something to consider as well. And just to celebrate one of the characters that we sneak peek for the next airdrops. Here, let me give you a wallpaper, guys, because I really like the whale Bakjura, and it was actually based on a Japanese myth, I believe, of a ghost whale, which is Bake Kajira, I think is how you pronounce it. But unlike that mythical creature in the real world, because that one is supposed to be kind of a curse, kind of a scary thing. The Bakjura in the Splinterlands is a defender against the invasion coming up from the depths of the sea. And I can't wait for you guys to read the lore and some of the story behind not only him, but Uriel the Purifier. But here's a wallpaper for those of you guys who want to check that out. Maybe put it on your screen in preparation for the mighty blue whale. And then I'm trying to see if there's anything else I could leave you guys. Oh, I talked about this with Chatter, whether or not to share it or not share it. And we were in an email discussion with these partners, and it got brought up, and I'm like, okay, they don't seem to object, and Chatter seems fine with it. So what I might do is just share with you the fact that we have a lot of partnerships going on. This is one of them. I believe
Oh, this is exciting.
next month we have
Instant
a
alpha.
partnership with Blockchain Heroes. So for those of you who are familiar with Blockchain Heroes, I believe they're a wax-based collectible card set that they release new sets of, and we have partnered with them in the past before. But what I decided, and I believe that was Hero Beyond. So we're going to do another one, and this time we did the artwork internally. And the whole vibe they have for this card set is this retro 80s techie looking, like if you think like Tron, stuff like that. So I think it was synthwave. Synthwave, I think, is the style. So when they told us that, I was like, what the heck? How am I going to create synthwave style with Splinterlands? We're a fantasy game. We're not in the Tron world, but I passed it off to one of our new artists that we onboarded. And for those of you familiar with her, she has won plenty of different art contests in the past. And we just knew, okay, we need to bring her in. She has so much talent in just her little pinky. She creates this beautiful artwork. And I thought, you know what? For this, go ahead and go nuts. Go ahead and do some hyper realism. It's not a style that we have in the game, but for blockchain cards, sure, let's go for it. So this is a sneak peek of some of the artwork that we're going to create. And what's great about it is the big bad villain, the Thanos, the Emperor Palpatine of the Chaos Legion, is known as Silas, and he is not represented in a card thus far. The only way you're going to be able to get access to this big bad villain as an NFT, anyways, is through this Blockchain Heroes set. So let me share that with you. I think Alexandra, but Alex for short, did an amazing job.
Oh, wow.
That looks cool.
Jesus. That's definitely got some like Thanos vibes to that. How do you not? It's like
Now,
a dark elf prince like that. That's awesome. I haven't
now
seen
what's
that before.
Yeah, definitely. What's amazing is that she has created a set of cards, and I told her she could pick whatever character she wanted from all of the Splinterlands universe, and those are going to be released as a special collection on the Splinter Talk NFT site. So they won't be in game, but I'm telling you guys, once you see she did amazing work on these characters. You'll be like, whoa, blown away. When this set gets released, you guys are going to want plenty of SPT to start spending because they look pretty good. Just as great, if not better, than what I just showed. So I don't want to take up too much time. We got some questions to answer, but I figured I'd at least share a couple of little eye candy snippets for you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is Chatter still here? Chatter, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, so you're last up. Go give us a little bit of thoughts on final thoughts for the right before the questions for anything that you want to kind of bring up that's either retroactive to 2021 or future thinking for 2022.
Yeah, I mean, I think I covered kind of most of that there. There's a lot of things we're working on right now that can't be disclosed too early yet. We are talking with exchanges. We have a whole bunch of partnerships kind of in the gate. And Aggie, I know that you said that you're working on a whole bunch of projects that we can't disclose as well. So really cool things coming out, but not going to spoil anything too much yet. I'll leave you with some teasers there just to soak on over the holiday season here. That being said, I have made a little bit of a giveaway link, so I'll post that in the Twitch chat and the Discord chat here. I'll give away 10 kind of packs here after the stream, so look out for that. Good luck to all the winners.
All right. I guess my thought is 2022 is going to be the most badass year in company history. It's definitely going to blow away everything else that we've done in the history of the company, and might even just break open. It might, frankly, just be the end all be all best year. Like I should just retire after 2022. Like how are we going to do anything more awesome than our ambitious plans? And I've been thinking about it more and more, just trying to go think through all of what I want to accomplish. And I feel like what we've done so far are just teasers, and that the vision and the plan for where we're going, I think, are not only game changing but planetary changing. And if we pull off this vision, and I think that we have the single best team I could ever hope for to do it, it'll be an astounding freaking year. All right. So, Miss Liberty Lass, if you'll share some questions. So these are town hall questions. So just if you don't know, the way the format for this stuff, in a format for this stuff, what I need you guys to know is that the first part of a town hall, we're just talking. Second part of the town hall is questions that people have left over the last week. And then the third part of the town hall is that we'll answer user generated questions live. So we're now in phase two. Phase two is where we answer questions based off of what people have submitted. This is a particularly short week of questions. So there's only 2 pages. So hopefully we'll be plowing through these. And then it seems like we'll have maybe 30 or 40 minutes to go answer user questions. And we might even break the fourth wall a little bit and let some users on air if they want to go kind of talk to us. Hopefully you'll understand that we want to keep everything in this kind of PG-13 world. But if there's some folks that want to come on air later, I'll give some people opportunity, and you can go talk to us directly. All right, founder questions. As a Pennsylvania native myself, I need to know, are either Aggie or Matt Eagles fans? I am not an Eagles fan. I don't think Matt cares about sports ball that much. I prefer the Patriots. Don't hate me. Eagles aren't bad, but I love it when they lose to the Pats. Did I hear at some point that the HQ is in Media, PA? Yes, it is. If so, what is that area like? Love everything Splinterlands. Happy holidays. Media is this absolutely gorgeous town. Like it's like the best little city. It's not. There's like one street that's Main Street that has all these nice restaurants and bars and shops, and it's gorgeous. It honestly, it's like one of my little favorite places to go visit. I love it out there. I'm not from there, and I just think that it's awesome. What is the biggest lesson Splinterlands company learned in 2021? How it affects the future? I think in my brain that our company mission and vision is so big, and what we are trying to do is so life altering that good employees are not good enough. We really need exceptional people, and I just don't want to settle for anything less than exceptional. And I really feel like if we take this attitude, we can get the team we need to build the things around us. Um, and we are at the vanguard of technology in the world. We are gaming, we are NFTs, we are crypto, and we are DeFi. And if we really just focus on only the best, and you need to be exceptional, I think that's my biggest lesson. We just have so much to do. There's no way to get there until we do it. All right, development questions. Will the Valley of Giants be a part of the game when land opens next year? There's a magical place in Pretoria called the Valley of Giants, where every plant and beast is extremely large. I don't know if the Valley of Giants will be there on the day that land opens, but yeah, we can go build in the Valley of Giants into Pretoria. Requests and suggestions. Can somebody please clean up the pinned messages on the Town Hall Discord channel? I'm pretty sure no one is interested in the old AMAs or Hardclaw animations anymore. So Hardpoint already did it. So the answer is yes. Can somebody please pin the link to the upgrade suggestions? I don't know what the upgrade suggestions are. Maybe he means the feedback.splinterlands.com.
I'll drop it in there.
So that would be good. How about adding team roadmap, white paper, hiring page links on splinterlands.com footer like with other crypto projects? So when new investors visit our site, they can easily check out who and how many are working on the plan, details of SBS. Yeah, I'm good. I think we're trying to get to the point where we can get a full roadmap out. We're working. You guys saw Chatter's business card image last week, so that you can see what we're trying there. And then the hiring, I don't know if that's on the footer or not, but we should definitely do that. Let's see here. Some of the things on the Splinterlands website are dated, like copyright year and contents in the media kit link on splinterlands.com. How about updating those? Sure, we can put that on the radar. A new homepage design for the website by the creative team would be great. I'm pretty happy with our homepage, but if Nate feels inspired or you want to communicate with Nate in terms of what you think is missing.
Me and Nate have already been talking about that, and we're going to do a lot more with the landing pages for both anonymous people to be more in tune with how active and everything the game is and the community and the crypto. And then when you log in, the landing page will be much more of your dashboard into everything that you have and doing. So those are the concepts we're focused on. It's just, we're throwing down right now on general sale. So you'll see that probably in the next year sometime come about.
In addition to the other amazing stuff like Modern vs. Wild and Land on the DAO, will there be a special happy birthday event for Splinterlands to mark its 4th birthday in May? I don't know. Whatever. If Nate has time, then yes. And if the dev team can swing it, sure. but that's not really the priority. Although I do hope that we can get to kind of all these little live by the season things. So, I don't think I ever want to get to the point where we're like shoving a different, deal in your face every day. That always feels a little scammy, but I'm okay going with the seasons and kind of having some like rough marketing plan or pitch plan or something where, at the different times of the year, whether it be solstice or holidays or Arbor Day or whatever, that we kind of like build in little bits of reality into our game world. All right, can you please require that players with powerful cards move up to the next tier instead of being able to choose between moving up and staying in the same tier? Splinterlands seems to have a bullying problem where more experienced players with large decks of powerful cards can crowd out new players. I think we've done a lot to go make it so that the incentives are aligned with moving up. Particularly, we changed from a squared to a cubed system for rewards. So it used to be when you doubled your rank, you would quadruple your rewards. Now it's when you double your rank, you octuple your rewards. And I don't know that I'm going to move up even farther, but I definitely think that's in the right direction. So I agree with you that has been a problem. I want to monitor that more and see if that continues to be a problem as that kind of rule change. I think it's still equilibrating. So let's give that a little bit of time. I'm with you. We were actively changing that. Let's see how that goes. Is there a place we can get card art without the new colored backgrounds present in the Chaos Legion cards? Mr. Nate?
Without the what?
Is there a place we can get card art without the new colored backgrounds present in the Chaos Legion cards?
Yes, I think I saw a request a couple days ago for when you go out, typically when people want the characters without the frame, they go to the lore tab. And we did change up how those graphics are presented to make it. I think most people agree that the graphics in the lore tab look way cooler now, but there is a little background, a little flavor to them. So if you want just the character and nothing else, no lines, no gradient, nothing, just the character with a transparent background, then yeah, I'm working on hopefully creating some sort of just like we have a folder in the cloud to make sure people can get wallpapers. I'll have to add another cloud folder that allows people to get access to these characters with transparent backgrounds. So yeah, we'll get that done.
All right, cool. Could you please create a dedicated page where links to all the town halls are posted? It is a major pain to find times and links.
So we've done a lot of things on that front. So number one, we've started adding on Discord events in the Discord. You can actually see 7 events posted right now where you can go see when the future times are. We'll also be chatter. We should add them into the town hall page on that docs.splinterlands site too, so it's easy for people to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. These are economy questions. SBS and DEC value has been going down for some time, and I, a new player, am worried about the situation. Could the team please give their opinion on this matter? Well, generally, I don't give opinions on pricing because it's just, the pricing is going to do what pricing does. Some of this stuff is now just like in the hands of the economy. We try to set the rules. We try to build the utility. We try to do the stuff that makes us fun and attract people. But I'm not going to like jump every single time price goes up or down. This is crypto. We've had the freaking prices of Bitcoin went from 60,000 plus down to 40 something thousand. So yes, I can't, this isn't financial advice, but I would imagine when the price of Bitcoin goes down, because all these things are correlated, the price of our tokens will go down. So at some point, I imagine that will reverse. It could go down more. It could lose 90% of its value tomorrow. But this is crypto. It could also 20x tomorrow. And some things to consider that we're still not listed on any major exchanges. We continue to have those conversations, but I imagine that will be useful. We're working with a market maker now. We haven't finished onboarding, but that'll be something that we actually publicize and let you guys know about. That's a pretty exciting development that, all of the volume that you see in our project has been organic volume. And when you look on other projects, they use market makers, and we have not. And I imagine that the amount of volume that we do will kind of go sky high when we have one of the best market makers in the ecosystem working with us. So those are thoughts about things that make me feel bullish. That is not my financial advice to you, because I can't tell you what to do. I don't know your circumstances. I can just tell you that 2022 is going to be the best freaking year in company history. And I am panic coddling as much of my SBS and DEC as I can get my dirty little hands on. All right. Modern and Wild have separated DEC reward pool. When fewer people play Wild, will there be any remaining DEC in the pool? Curious how DEC reward pool distributes all of the daily DEC to all players. So they'll still work the same way, where there's reward pools, and we're giving out DEC as inflation, and I think of that as sort of like proof of victory. When fewer people play Wild, maybe we will have fewer people play, and that's possible. But if fewer people play, then the rewards should theoretically go up per player. So we'll see what happens. It's that part of this economy is way too complicated for me to say this is what's going to happen. So I don't know. With small investments, bots are still making profits and draining DEC and reward cards. Bot company charges activation $1, bronze $1, silver $2, higher $3 fee per bot account per month. Imagine how much they earn per month for lots of paid bots accounts. I think it's unfair the bot company and bot owners in higher leagues earn lots of profit, and I know Splinterlands' opinion about it. So we've said for a long time that I want this thing to act kind of like poker, where anybody with chips in a chair can play. And here it's anybody with keys and cards can play. And that means you could use bots, and it could be that you ask your sister to play for you, or your kids. You could have more than one person operating an account. And that is legal and okay in this game. We're not going to sit there and ban you. We want this thing to be as decentralized as possible. And for us to go in and ban accounts like we saw Axie Infinity do recently, to me, is a horrifying experience. Why would you even call it blockchain at that point? Just go run on a centralized server like everybody else. So
and two, it's part of the nice thing about the game is the anonymous nature of blockchain. Like, you can sign up, you don't have to tell us who you are unless you do something that specifically legally requires KYC. So like, we don't necessarily have people sign up and say, I'm a bot. That could be a player that plays. That's also kind of the thing, is that if you're willing to invest money in this game to make money, it makes sense. It just follows along with what we're saying consistently. We also don't want bots to exploit the system. So if there are things that bots are doing that a human couldn't do, a human player couldn't do realistically, then we do step in and try to figure out a better way to do it. And you've seen us adjust over the last 6 months to several different things where bots were doing something that a human couldn't do as well. So we're definitely trying to level the playing field there.
Yep. What do you think about including SBS staked and packs open for future airdrop cards? It would give SBS utility, and packs open can be done by non-SBS holders and drains value from SBS. So there's a whole bunch of SBS stuff that hasn't even happened yet. So before we start talking about new stuff to add, just to give a sense of this, we announced SBS, and then we 50x'd the number of players in our ecosystem. And that happened in 6 months. And that would be hard for any one company to handle. It's especially hard for a blockchain company to handle, because we didn't have to scale one server. We had to scale 30 servers and a gigantic freaking code base. So we have nearly finished all of that. I mean, I'm not hearing anything about servers on fire anymore. So I think we're done with the scaling, and now we're kind of playing catch up. We've been doing this while also getting Chaos Legion out. So that's kind of different now that Hardpoint's around. We're walking and chewing bubblegum at the same time, where we're getting the servers taken care of, and we're developing the things that we need for Splinterlands and new feature development. Those are happening simultaneously. And Matt's actively coding and developing SBS related features. But the short answer is we're behind, and we're behind by about 4 months, and that's because of all the growth that we had to go through. And arguably, we were already a little bit behind from that because our expectations as sort of a young company were a little bit mismatched from the reality of what we could produce at the time. So we have some catch up that we still need to do. I still feel like we're like 4 or 5 months behind schedule, but that's one of the things that Matt is personally working on is the SBS staking rewards when you're whether you're providing liquidity or whether you're staking on other players or whether you're doing the battles or how we even hold SBS as a game. All that stuff is like, and the voting, like basically all the parts of the white paper that we said, hey, this is what we're building. By the way, we have to wait until we 50x the company and deal with that. But now we've dealt with that, so now we're back to building this. We're just like behind. So before I start saying, yes, we'll add more stuff, let's just get the stuff out that we've already planned. And then we can look around and be like, all right, what else is awesome? I haven't promised anything else about SBS, so I don't want to add any more promises. But the promise is we're working on this now. We're trying to roll this thing out. Hopefully in January, you'll start seeing more of the SBS staking stuff come out, and we'll see where it goes from there. Voucher questions. Will the voucher token grant access to exclusive items and land plots? Probably yes. I mean, any of the coolest stuff that's in the game, we want it to be voucher based. So you'll see more and more of that. Is the voucher token going to be given at the same rates as now, or will it be half after phase 2? It's listed as 20,000 vouchers per day going forward after, I think it's either January 12th or January 17th. And then I didn't even see this, but did we change this? Game question. Why are monsters called units now? Do we call them units? Is that what we do?
That was so originally, for most of the game started off being called Steam Monsters, and the original concept behind the game had been that you're having monsters fight against one another, and as the game evolved, even from the beginning, there was a question about, well, this doesn't look like a monster; it looks like a dude in some armor and a sword. Do we call him a monster? So, and then as the game evolved even more characters got integrated into the game, and it seemed for a new player, anyways, to call them monsters, it might actually cause confusion because they don't realize that we used to be called Steam Monsters, and you know where we came from, and we're all used to calling them monsters. But I think over time we might transition more to a less scary name and something that fits. If I pull out a character that looks like a humanoid person with intellect and they don't look scary, they look like they're here to help me, then to call them a monster, they might be offended. I don't want to offend my team, so or insult them in any way. So we might transition to unit.
All right. That's all the questions that I had. So we have something like 34 minutes. So Liberty Glass is so on top of it. All right, the Q&A session is now open. Please ask your questions only once. Spamming your questions will only annoy the wizards. Please preface your question with a question in boldface and max caps so that we can so that I don't miss it going forward. I can already see a couple questions going up. So thanks for doing that. All right. Any news on issues with the voucher DEC on tribal decks? It still seems bugged. That would be nice to pair DEC and vouchers together for the airdrop. Totally agree. One of the main, putting my Hive Engine head on for a moment, one of the main smart contract developers, his sister got very ill, and he's the guy that had been building all that. So he's been kind of out for like almost a month and a half now. So I'm getting super behind on the things that I want there. And I'm, I don't know. I don't quite know what to do about it. That's a hard situation because he's amazing, but also not very responsive these days. But yeah, it's bugged and I'd like to fix it. How are the numbers for the bulk sale looking? How many of the 6 million packs have been reserved or sold? So yeah, the bulk sale, I should have said more about this. The bulk sale is going to end in 4 days. I should probably get a post out about it. So far, we've been paid $3.7 million, and people have purchased 1.6 million packs. So it's not the full 6 million packs that have been sold, but the market took a downturn, and so we're in some ways this is a good thing. We're a little bit less worried about the maximum amount of the packs being sold, and we wanted Chaos Legion to last a year. I mean, there's no way that Chaos Legion is going to last a year, but when we initially planned it, that's what we were hoping for. So I don't know how long it's going to last, but there should be packs come January 19th. So both good and bad, but
17th.
Well, right, but I'm saying by like 18th,
Oh, okay.
there will still be packs.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to do a 24-hour sellout. But again, crypto's crazy. I mean, if prices go up because Bitcoin rebounds, and imagine, I don't know. I follow Willy Woo. Willy Woo does a lot of technical analysis. He's like, guys booked a lot of profit in 2021, and they're going to redeploy in 2022. That's his leading thought. If that happens and Bitcoin goes up a bunch, I imagine all the alts go with it. And then suddenly, you guys are all much better off than you were a week or two ago, and you buy enormous amounts of packs. That's one outcome. I mean, I don't know that it's the only one. I don't have a crystal ball, but I don't know, something to consider. All right, question. Can you guys make it so if someone leaves a guild, their quest they did stay with the guild they were in at the time of doing it instead of downgrading the lodge? Request from one of you, T100 champ and rank 13th guild player. I didn't think it worked like that. I thought it was just counting how many you have. So that's news to me. I think that I like what you're describing. If it actually works that way, we should fix it. But I'm not sure that it works that way. Question: what's the giveaway about? Chatter, what's the giveaway?
The giveaway itself, yeah, sorry, I'm here. The giveaway itself is just 10 card packs.
There you go. How are you guys planning to deal with SBS inflation? Well, so with Bitcoin, there's only 21 million tokens, and that's all there will ever be. With SBS, there's a bunch of inflation. It goes up to 5 billion. But we can do things like add staking, and we can build in token burns. And that's not something that Bitcoin really has in unless whales lose their keys. So we have a couple more tools in our toolbox. That's part of what's fun about these altcoins is setting up different economies. And so we have a bunch of inflation, but hopefully staking and requirements for staking to get the biggest benefits in burn mechanics are some of what drives you guys to make decisions that kind of offset the inflation. Also, if Chatter pulls off all the things that we're working on, there's like tons more people that come in and they kind of eat the SBS that we're awarding. Question, would be nice if we could set up preset decks. I forget names of cards sometimes. Would be nice if I could have a favorites deck option based on rules of battle engagement. Will you be implementing anything like favorites? That sounds like a great suggestion, and I would encourage you to go put that at feedback.splinterlands.com and see if we can't get other people to support that suggestion, and see if you're the only person in the game that feels that way, or if everybody feels that way, and we'll plan accordingly. Question, is the CoinMarketCap project finalized? I see there's a chat on SBS page, but I don't see anything else on the front page of CoinMarketCap. I thought there was a news feed or something there.
So there's a news feed on our page itself, the token listing page. They haven't built it into the algorithm yet, just for in terms of like discoverability and everything, just because, again, we're the only token right now that has that entire functionality. But I think the plan for them in the future is as they onboard more people into the program and as they have a lot more people writing their own articles, it's going to help in the like discovery algorithm there. So nothing yet, but I think that is going to be a potential future update for them.
Will we have an official Splinterlands worldwide merchandise store? And Nate has responded with block style. Nate, what is block style?
So I guess back in the day, we saw a need to have some sort of merchandise available, and it's not I went ahead and created that storefront. So for any of you guys have any questions about that, you could throw that my way. But until we get something more official set up, then that's kind of what we have. And I'll try to keep the merchandise populated with, some graphics from, 1 month to the next. I'll try to add some more stuff in there, but it may be a temporary solution until we have see the resources or the value in trying to create a more official setup. But yeah, that's what we have so far. And so if you want hats and T-shirts and all kinds of different merchandise, you can go there for now and grab up some stuff. And if anyone has any recommendations on what you would like to see, I think when I get some time, I was going to create a hat with a Chaos Legion logo, throw that on there. So if you guys have ideas, feel free to toss them my way, and I'll try my best to get the merchandise on there. So that's what that is.
Cheddar, that reminds me, we have to go spend a bunch of money and make a bunch of swag for like booths and things like that. Less commercial and more just giveaways.
For sure.
Question: will there be improvements about tickets? Will there be faster solutions such as missing SPS problems or some game bugs? Hardpoint.
Sorry, I was reading questions.
Question: will there be improvements about tickets, and will there be faster solutions such as missing SPS or problems or some game bugs?
Yeah, I mean, we've already been doing this consistently over the last couple of months. Like I said, we've been consistently getting faster and faster at resolving tickets and getting them inbound and outbound. So it's absolutely happening right now, and we're building the processes and getting the people trained and in place. It just takes longer than you think to do these things because we're doing the forensic accounting of all of these requests, and those take a lot of man hours to accomplish. So, and we're also at the same time, we're actually we want to improve the ticket system, but more importantly, we want to improve the game stability. The more game stability we have, and the more our bridges are stable, the more crypto is moving around safely, the less tickets there are in the first place. So that's really our focus, is to try to identify the areas where there's hot spots and really go in and try to improve those areas.
Rock on. Question: any planned date for Rift Watchers yet? Do we have like card art for Rift Watchers going, don't we?
Well, we do have artwork for Rift Watchers, and we are the narrative team is hard at work in coming up with more artwork. Some of the artwork for Rift Watchers got a little bit cannibalized for Chaos Legion because we weren't expecting the set to be as big as it was. However, when Yabapy Matt comes to me and says, you know what, you got all this artwork, I've never seen this much artwork in preparation for a set, let's make the set bigger. I'm not going to tell the man no. I'm going to say, heck yeah, let's do it. So when we were creating the Chaos Legion set, we went ahead and made it bigger and bigger, utilizing some of the other artwork we had, but we also created new artwork as well that would fit within if we didn't have artwork that fit the story of what we wanted to do with Chaos Legion, then we created new artwork for that. For Rift Watchers, we have a very specific story that we want to tell, that not only embellishes upon what we're doing with Chaos Legion and the Chaos War, but also leading into the next set. So it's a great bridge between the two core sets of this year and next year. And it's right now what I told the narrative team, and please guys, do not quote me as this is the launch date for Rift Watchers, but I told the narrative team to make sure that all the stories, all the background, all the visual descriptions are given to the artists. And if the artists have enough time to do what they need to do, then just be prepared for a March launch in case that's what we decide to do. Now, not to say that's the month we're launching Rift Watchers, but the creative side is pushing hard to make sure that if that's what we decide to do, then we're hoping to be prepared for that.
When Chaos Legion packs sell out, what will replace the pack of the daily rewards? Dark energy crystals. I know previously you did 2,000 DEC. They removed that. Is there a replacement in mind when they're gone? Yeah, it'll be the DEC. All right. Question. Merry Xmas, everyone, and congrats on all the successes this year. Anyways, I applied to your Breezy page with 2A, AAA experience in a proposal sheet. I think Hardpoint said that it is far better than a CV, and there was no reply from you. Are you just too busy? Was something wrong, or is this a test if I can figure out I should be bothering you with being explicitly told so, without being explicitly told so? I don't know what position you applied for, and I don't know where that's at. You actually don't even say what you applied for here. But
So
what's
I guess
that? Oh, there's a backlog right now. Yeah, so we need an HR director. So I guess we have some backlog in terms of.
Yeah, I'll just throw in one thing, just so you guys know, those of you guys who've been trying to chat with me, one of the big things that me and Liberty Last and several of us have been trying to do year end. And so that's just been an enormous amount of paperwork for 70 people. And so that's created a lot of pressure on a lot of the things that we were supporting as far as hiring and getting onboarding on. I know several people have reached out to me and said, hey, I'd love to talk to you guys about coming on board. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. And I want to talk to you, but I'm literally up to my eyeballs in just regular paperwork so we can wrap up 21. So just know that there's a little bit of a backlog right now. We definitely want to get to you guys, and our apologies for the delay.
All right. Are you focused on staying accessible to low-income customers? If you grow out of reach, I believe a huge part of your users will have to drop out. I mean, I think we do better at that than anybody else in the industry. Our packs are $4, right? Like, we've already demonstrated that between vouchers and our packs, we can sell them for 20 or 24, but we don't. We make that accessible. If you want the absurdly inaccessible things, then go buy land. But for this, we try to keep this accessible. So I think $4, and also just having a rental market is just, we do a better job of this than basically anybody else out there. The question is, a player account value viewer, all assets in the works. It's been 3 years and the game has expanded well beyond just cards. So we're doing a back end that certainly would allow people to go figure out all their value. I'm not entirely sure that it's going to live in game. It might need to live in some of the third-party things just to make it a little easier on us from a regulatory standpoint. But I'm not sure yet. I gotta see where we go. But Hardpoint, how's our work on the tax software backend going? Is that happening? Are people looking at that?
Yeah, so we're in the preliminary stages of trying to figure that out, and we're hoping to very quickly be able to do something on that front. And it's not the highest priority because we're trying to get ready for general sale, but we know everybody's asking for it because everybody has the same needs, and we're trying to figure out how to respond to it. And part of the big issue with it right now is we literally have hundreds of millions of transactions in our system, and the method of just throwing up a page for you to click to download it would not work. So for us to do this, we actually have to do some bigger systems to be able to support getting that data out of our system. And we're working on it right now, and we're trying to think it through. And unfortunately, we're just not ready. And as we said last AMA, unfortunately, our platform is a gaming platform first. It's not a tax advisory platform, and we know that's not a great answer, but that is the answer we have right now, is that you guys need to track your transactions. And we do know it's a pain point, and that's seriously not a great answer, but we want to get you something. But it's just the scale is a problem for us right now. And so we are working on it. We are thinking about it. We're hoping to have something sooner than later, but I don't have better answers right now than that.
Awesome. Question, how are you? Thank you for the weekly Town Hall IMA. So important for new player confidence. I can't wait for the next 5 years of Splinterlands. Well, thanks for asking how I am, Ryan. The end of the year is just like a crazy freaking time. Family drama. I have more family drama this year than I ever would have imagined. At some point, I'll probably be more public about what I've been through over the last year, but it's nothing short of absurd. The business has grown massively. The budgets have grown massively. The scope of work have grown massively. So I'm tired and stressed, frankly, but I'm really looking forward to I think next week might be the slowest week that I've gotten to experience in a long time, and I'm excited for that. So that's on my list. All right. Question: if people can buy gold and legendary potion using DEC at market price, the DEC can burn more frequently, thus reduce the DEC in circulation. This will increase the price of DEC, thus a player got more reward and have better economic incentive. The dev can just remove quest potion completely if it is so broken. Need more ways in order to maintain and increase the price of DEC. When DEC is low, reward is low. Card asset price will become lower, thus will encourage player to stop playing the game as the incentives are not enticing enough. So, I skipped the question, I guess. Yeah, I have that one too. So for this, yeah, I mean, you can buy credits with DEC and just spend those. So it might not already reflect entirely on the screen, but that's there. Question: you now get 2 airdrops guaranteed if you buy 300 packs. Will you get the 11 airdrops as well guaranteed with those amount of packs, or do you need to buy more for the other 11? It'll change. I mean, there's not one set answer. It'll probably be higher, but for like other legendaries, but it could be very much lower for something like a common. You could be guaranteed a common for far fewer. So I don't know. We'll have to go see what that looks like. Question: forgive me if this was already answered, but will Chaos Packs ever be an award for season-ending rewards? I don't think for season-ending, but it is part of your daily quest rewards. Let's see. Question: many stupid games are more famous than ours. Why don't you use an ad agency? Well, we are working on an ad agency and doing more ads. For whatever reason, we have been banned and pushed back on for a while for that. But Chatter's kind of unwinding all of it. So we'll see. Hopefully 2022 is a year for that. Question: Agra mentioned in Mav's channel about SPS staking for earning SPS and rank play in the future. I think this could be a huge positive development. Can you explain the thinking about this and why it would be good for everyone to have stake in the game? Thank you, and thanks to the whole Splinterlands team. We will definitely appreciate what you have done for the community. It's been life-changing for many. Well, first off, thanks, Dave, and I'm glad that you're here. You're a great influence in this community. Yeah, so you know what? We have a lot of gaming is really about gating activities of players. So you don't just make everybody allowed to do everything. You say, oh, only if you have this can you do that. And that's a lot of what game making is just kind of like, here's everything that's possible, and here's what's possible for you. And doing that in a way that's fair, balanced, and everything else. And one of the lessons that I've learned in crypto gaming thus far is that you have to, if you don't make it so that, I want to put this in the positive. You have to stake tokens or NFTs if you want to earn rewards. That was the last change that we made to the economy of like, well, in Bronze 3 or Bronze 2, you didn't have to stake anything and you could get rewards, and that was entirely broken. So the non-broken way to do things is you have to stake if you want to earn, and that's the rule. So that's the rule for bots. That's a rule for Bronze. That's a rule for humans. That's a rule for champion. You have to stake if you want to earn. Okay, so now we're going to apply that thinking to the SPS ranked play, where in the not too distant future, hopefully Q1, if we get a little bit behind or we stay behind, it might be Q2, but I'm hoping that the SPS ranked rewards will be going out. And for them, like, collection power and league is going to be enough to earn DEC. But if you want to earn SPS, it is my current plan that you will have to stake SPS. So, I'd also really like to see screens almost kind of mocking players of like, well, you could have earned this SPS, but you're not staking any. Wah, wah. And just show the player by not staking how much they are missing out every single match. And I think that once we get that sort of like, it's not just vouchers and it's not kind of these once every so often purchased experiences, but it's literally every match you play, you were reminded of how much you were missing out on because you don't stake SPS. I'm hoping that will change some behaviors in the community. So we'll see where that goes. Let's see. It was just mentioned that there will be no more than 5 billion SPS in existence. No, somebody in the audience said it was 5 billion. I said it was 3 billion. The white paper is actually correct. And Aggie quoting the white paper is correct. Chance a Guy, is there a place to get card art files without the colored background? That got answered earlier. Not currently, but we're working on it. I don't know how many questions we have left. All right, what is the rate the staking APR decreases? Will it increase? Is there somewhere I can read the details? So the amount of staking rewards is set, and as more and more people stake, the amount of rewards will remain constant, but your APR will decrease. Unless people start unstaking, it's going to go down. The more people stake, the more the APR decreases. Question: are you considering any changes with the DEC reward pool? With the DEC value changes, the reward pool lowers when DEC value drops. Is that correct? Yeah. When that is correct. When DEC is high, we print more. When DEC is low, we print less. And I don't think that we're really putting in any changes to that. It's just that's how the system works, and we'll continue operating the system as we've said it will operate. I really like to do like, here are the rules, and then just stick with those rules. And it looks like we're about to run out of questions. So I want to go crap. And then Nate's dropping beauty. Okay, so question: is there any talk of potentially making the new Chaos Legion cards with different collection power value? Interested because I've heard a lot of people talk about it. No, Chaos Legion collection power values are out, and that's what they are. Question: any new land art sneak peeks? And Nate provided a land art sneak peek. So Nate, can you talk me through what did you just show? What is that?
Oh, that's didn't mean to take up time on it, but yeah, as most of you guys already know about land, or maybe you're brand new to the game and you're unfamiliar with what exactly land is and why should you go shell out. I don't know, how much is a plot of land going for? Like $700-800 right now? I don't know.
Yeah, roughly.
So you're thinking to yourself, why the heck should I spend $700-800 on a plot of land? What are people so excited about? So there's 14 geography types, and you would think, wow, that's a lot. There's 14 different types of land. No. You don't understand. There's 14 geography types. So in this case, I just showed a lake. A geography type is lake, but there's common lake, rare lake, epic lake, legendary lake, and all 4 lakes look different. So what I shared, I believe, was the epic. That might be the legendary lake. So a common lake, it looks kind of like a barren wasteland with a little puddle in the middle or something. But you would think, whoa, 14 geography types times 4 rarities. That's a lot of land. No, you don't understand. Besides the rarity and the geography types, you also have occupied land. So you might get a rare lake that's occupied, in which case you would see some kind of occupation going on in the background. Maybe there's a goblin fort, or maybe there's some sort of undersea angry mermaid people who are out to get you. And you have to set up an outpost to kind of defend against these creatures that are, already inhabiting your land. And you think, wow, Nate, that's a lot. No, you don't understand. Then you might get land that's infused with magic. So you might end up with an epic lake that has not just magic, but there's all these elements of magic, right? It might be earth magic, it might be water magic, whatever. We were excited about the idea of having enough flexibility to where, who's to say that the lake has to be infused with water magic? Why can't it be a haunted lake and have death magic associated with it? Why can't you have a mountain that has, life magic associated with it instead of fire or whatever you would normally associate with a mountain? So we wanted to really increase the possibilities, total flexibility. So if you're running a calculator right now, trying to figure out, well, geez, how many different types of land are there? There's a freaking lot. There's a lot of variations when it comes to what kind of plot of land you might end up with. But anyways, what I shared, it's not occupied, it's not infused with the type of magic, it's a natural land that provides natural resources, and it's a lake, which it was important to us that we have water-based plots. So we have river and lake plots, and there's a lake plot for you. So happy day, you got a sneak peek.
So can I? So I was good. So some of these people, they hear land, they hear us talk about land expansion, everybody starts foaming at the mouth. But maybe we could back up a little bit. Right now, what we have available is land claim plots that you can buy on Wax and Hive Engine. Aggie, maybe you can tell them, what does that get you if you go out and you buy this $500, $600, $700 land claim plot? What are you buying? You're muted.
I am. So what we needed a little bit of time between. So when we launched Land, we did it like a Kickstarter, and we were doing it, and a lot of Kickstarters are like completely done, and they're like, all right, now we're launching, come give us money, and we'll put this thing out. But some Kickstarters are done where they're like, okay, well, we're going to go try this, and if you do it and you give us some money, we'll go build this thing, and we'll go create this. We'll make a wallet. We'll make like a tree trimmer. We'll make the next generation Christmas tree, whatever. Like you make all these projects. So we did the latter, where we're like, we've built nothing, but land is pretty awesome, and we really ought to own it. So why don't we go do this? And as part of that, we said, okay, well, if we're going to launch this, when you get your land, you won't actually get the land. It'll be like getting a card pack first, and then you get to open it, and then you get your real NFT. So what everybody has right now is essentially like, if you own a plot, a tract, or a region, you own the claim. You own like the card pack. But we haven't let anybody open these card packs because this isn't the same as just like, okay, let's go add a couple more monsters to the list, and now we can go do Chaos Legion, and it's one more of the same kind of set of cards. That's like orders of magnitude easier than what we're doing with land. I mean, with land, it's like, okay, well, first off, we have to design an entirely different system. They all look different. Like we use a different set of artists for all this stuff. So there's like an entire different creative process that goes into it. What they generate are like completely different resources than anything that exists in the game. What you build on top of it is a completely different set of buildings and like what you can use on the land, like these totems. Like all of that is different than anything else that exists in the game. You're going to get to use your summoners and monsters here, but how you do that is different than anything else in the game. And it's like an entire different system. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the whole point of owning land is that you get to mint items and spells, which are NFTs that you can use, play with, rent, or sell. And like if you go look at the NFT market cap, our cards have gone between $220 million to $280 million is like the value of all the NFTs in existence. And we are turning over the minting rights to you, the player. But just like I talked about before, gamification is all about saying, this is what's possible, but you get to do this. And so we are gating that and saying only the landowners can do that. Only the landowners are the ones that can go print cards, and they're the only ones that can mint items and spells. And we ourselves as a game have committed to like, there's no PvE stuff. No, I'm sorry, no PvP stuff that we're going to put out that is items and spells. We're going to put out like the soulbound level ones so that everybody that plays has access to something. But it's going to be like literally you don't even really own it. It's going to be like the starter cards in the decks where the only way to get this stuff, you can't even buy packs from us. You have to go to the other players. That's the only way to get it. And if you don't understand the sort of like economic power that comes with being the guys that can mint this, then you're not paying attention. And this to me is a total like twist on how games work. Like Magic the Gathering in 20, 30 years of being Magic the Gathering has never said, let's let the players make these cards. No, they've like banned you, kicked you out of tournaments. If you tried to go do like little special tournaments where you could just print your own cards or your own versions, they banned those and kicked those players out. Like, they have done everything they can to stop what we are actively building for your benefit. So hopefully that just gives you a sense of what's coming, what we do, and how we do it.
Hey, Aggie, so one other follow-up question to that is someone was saying, the land that the plots, the claim plots that we sold, are we just going to keep printing more land, or has it all been sold? Like, where is our thinking on that?
A little bit of both. So in terms of the land that's available now for the game that exists now, we're not printing more. So both Matt and I want this land to be exclusive, rare, and frankly expensive. We have committed that every single year we're going to put out another set of cards, like your NFTs, your summoners and your monsters, or your summoners and your units. That's going to be coming out every single year. But we're not doing that with land. If we do print more land, it'll be things like, let's say we do like a new game mode. And in that game mode, I don't know, I have, like, my dumb one would be Rexy's Fishing Adventure. What's the simplest game we can create? What's a brand new game mode that we could do? And maybe in Rexy's Fishing Adventure, you need some kind of land. Or maybe we're doing things where there's like, in a PvP zone, you have to go build special warships, right? You're going to go do naval battles, but you're going to do it with Splinterlands monsters and summoners, or units and summoners. And maybe in some of these separate mini games, we'll provide things that are land-like that you could purchase to be able to produce resources specific just for that game mode. So I see things like that happening, where the new game modes have new kind of production lands or features that you can get, but not. It won't be the main things for building items and spells. There's no other way to get items and spells than the land. But like building the ships and the cannons for the war expansion or the naval battle expansion, that would be something where I'd be like, okay, here's this undiscovered plot of land. Here's all the different pieces. You can buy parts of it, and there you could get the timber that you need and the metal that you need. Maybe you need something special. So it's not like we're not replicating all of land, but maybe there's just a few things that you need for the more elevated pieces. No promises in any of that. Anything that's like not actually in a white paper that we've published is always subject to change. I want to give some flavor around it so that you guys know we're really committed to not like just minting land like really ever again. But only if there's like a new game mode that needs new kind of NFTs or new resources that aren't really in the other ones. Only then would I say, yes, we're going to add land. But like all the resources and the geographies that Nate's talking about, like I don't see it recycling those. It's not like, oh, we're adding more for the people. It's like, no, this is we're limited to this and we're not putting more out.
I think when our land was originally conceived, I think we were kind of on the fence as to whether we wanted to create more land or not. We did include in the pre-sale stuff that if someday, due to scalability, we just had to, like, it's not we don't want to, but if we absolutely had to, then it would not be on Praetoria. It would be somewhere else, and it would definitely not have the premium benefits that Praetoria land has, which is infused with all this magic and more resources and all this stuff. But I think as time has gone by, you and Matt have gotten more and more of the philosophy that, yeah, we really just don't want to print any more land. We kind of had that little door open a little bit, ajar, like, hey, someday we might, but probably not. But I think we're getting closer and closer to where, like you just said, you really just don't want to print any more land.
The one thing too, I think, Aggie, you dropped this when you were describing what land is going to do, is that players get to mint NFTs that are going to be used in the gameplay. I think players don't always realize what that means. That means that you, the player, can get an in-game ass NFT that's then you infuse it, use your cards, you stake some SPS, you do these things, and you get NFTs that you can turn around and sell and rent to other players. Like, That's crazy to me. Like, you're basically saying we as a company are building an economy that players can come in, invest in, and then generate more earnings and more rewards. It's like, at what point did we say, like, oh, we're going to print all these cards ourselves? We're going to go print, Splinterlands is going to go print spells, and we're going to just distribute these things out. No, we said the players are the ones that are going to go build these and sell these. That's amazing to me. That's one of the reasons I love being here, is just how much we're trying to infuse into our player base value. And that's exciting.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's Christmas Eve day, and we've helped people for 2 hours, so we're gonna wrap this up. Um, I hope that you guys hear that the folks that are in our leadership positions, they chose to be here voluntarily to spend their morning talking to you guys and sharing their views, sharing their perspectives on a day they don't even have to be here, to try to help you understand the vision, the roadmap, the plans, the goals, the objectives, and the heart of what we're doing. And I hope you guys can feel that and understand the kind of passion and brilliance and creativity that the folks that are here are bringing to this. And I hope that you feel that and understand the journey that we're on together, the world that we're trying to build, and the fun that we are trying to have as a community. So I thank everybody for being here. I wish you many blessings of peace and wellness at the end of the year. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your support. Thank you for playing our game. Thanks for believing in us. To the employees of Splinterlands, thanks for working so hard and for being so dedicated. And, here's hoping that 2022, it has giant expectations on its shoulders, and let's hope that we blow them all away. Thanks, everybody. Many
Thanks, everybody.
blessings.